Hi there, meteorologist Ed Valley here, taking a look at the long range. This will be a quick one today, but we do see uh, a cold week this week, a dry week this week, but a warm up and a wetter trend for the middle of the month. But then beyond day 15, we're starting to see some signs that cold may return. Kind of a warm sandwich, if you will, with cold on either side of it. So nothing happening today. A little bit of rain or snow activity down in Kansas, light stuff. Speaking of snow, we did have 3 to 6 inches of snow observed here in parts of central and western Nebraska. You can see here, you can see the amount. If you hover over, you'll see what the amount is. You see some places did see 6 inches, 3 inches, and you can kind of see as you head east, things really dropped off. So first snow of the season for some. And again, it's a dry forecast moving forward. So we're just going to kind of talk about the next week, and we'll touch on when this pattern is going to get more active. And you see our cold air mass slowly exiting stage right here this week. But again, we're dry through Thursday, through Friday, outside of a sprinkle to the north. It's dry right through the weekend, not expecting really anything here. And you see these red lines coming back. We do get a warm up early next week, but you notice it's short-lived. You see this big storm that's coming here around the 10th or 11th. That's going to be a colder catalyst here for the middle of the month. But again, we're going to have a warm period before that. So from about the 5th through the 11th, we are going to be pretty warm. But then after about the 11th or 12th, you see this cold coming in behind it. And again, the rain through the middle of next week is minimal for most. But again, this only goes through the 9th. So it's a dry week ahead. It's a cold week ahead. Let me bring up some information here about that cold because it is pretty impressive. You know, even though it is the time of the year, it's especially impressive because it hasn't been that cold over the last month or two, right? So today is in the 40s pretty much everywhere. But notice Wednesday, we're starting to warm this pattern up. And by Thursday and Friday, there it is, 60s showing up in the plains, 50s in the east. And then into the weekend, those 60s will progress eastward, a warm weekend, as we said here, from about the 5th through the 10th. We're going to be pretty warm, and Monday is pretty warm, Tuesday is pretty warm, but notice by about the 10th, you're starting to see that storm come together, and you notice by the 11th, and especially the 12th, we're starting to see cold seep back into the north, and that's related again to this storm moving away. Temperatures overnight, very cold, hard freeze this morning, hard freeze tomorrow morning, and then a freeze Thursday and Friday morning as well. But notice by the weekend, we're starting to warm these temps up for most of the belt. And it'll stay warm early next week, albeit briefly ahead of that next system. And then by Friday, you see that cold coming back at night, which, again, will happen. It's just a matter of the speed based on how quickly that storm gets out of here. So looking at the larger picture here, I want to just talk about the middle of the month real quick. We do have some new European weekly data we'll go over here in just a second. So we're going to start off here with the European model. Around day 10, you notice that big storm brings that trough back in. By day 10, you see it's kind of traversing the eastern U.S. One thing I think is interesting here by about day 13, 14, look at the blocking showing up here in the higher latitudes. You see that? That is a signal that there is a source for some colder air. And you notice it's on the GFS and the Canadian as well. Okay, so towards the middle of the month, day 14, 15, we're starting to see this colder regime come back with some blocking evident in the higher latitudes. Now, we look at our European weeklies, which go out 46 days, right? And you see the same idea around day 15. You see this blocking, and the blocking generally continues, especially on the on the Pacific side, through the end of the month. And as we head into early December, it's still there. You see all this blocking. So again, we're not forecasting the next coming of the ice age, but again, it's a pretty favorable look, especially across part of the northern tier here. It's back half of November, front half of December for some colder risk. And you look at the 14-day anomalies here in the 16 to 30, you can see it's warmer in the east. I'm not sure how accurate that will end up being, especially if we have some blocking in the Atlantic. But you notice the La Nina flavor here. Coldest weather in the plains and prairies, that's indicative of La Nina, no doubt. And you notice by day 45, the 15 to, or the 40 to 45 day, you see there's going to be opportunities for colder intrusions even into the central and eastern United States. It's just a matter of when and how significant they will be, right? And then looking at precipitation here, Obviously, we were just talking about how the wetness is going to return, and we see that here in the 16 to 30 day showing up now for the end of the month. And then into early December, you notice the southern tier in the southeast drier, northern tier northwest a little bit wetter. And as we compare that here to our 16 to 30 day outlook, we did go drier in this period to the south and to the east, which again is kind of what mirrored that weekly, and then wetter to the north and to the west. But then we went a little warmer here, and it's interesting because there is going to be periods of warmer weather in the northeast, especially in parts of the plains, but there's cooler intrusions as well. So just keep in mind that this 16 to 30 day consists of a lot of ups and downs, and that's why our November forecast is still cooler across the northern tier and down in Florida. So it's a very unique forecast coming up, but a one that does have a lot of ups and downs, and that should, as we mentioned, bring back precipitation risk as well. So that's what we have for you today. Have a lovely Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow with another video.